somebody's saying that they cannot hear us. Hopefully they can. So I am actually just going to keep going, and hopefully they will be okay. Let's just make sure. Okay. Okay, Jenny's okay. All right. So Angela, I'm not sure if this is if you're having trouble, but hopefully you'll get it sorted. Okay, we're gonna keep going. So number 2 was the social starter kit. Sorry, Nadia says I'm a little bit too loud. Okay, just turn me down on your volume. Okay, I'll talk a little bit further away from the computer. So the second week, we just talked about, I gave you a few tips, tools, and resources to help you make your sales immediately, which social media platforms I thought were best suited for a Mary Kay business. And then just we went over how to start growing your presence online. And last week, I think probably was the best one, I got so much feedback and so many great emails from everybody saying that they really, really liked last week. So I'm very happy to hear that. That was the All Glammed Up week. We talked about attracting new leads or potential customers online, small tweaks that translate into bookings and sales, actionable tips to help you stand out and succeed in social media, and then again, just more training and resources available to you in the future. So before we get started, I just want to say that Joel's here again tonight, so I just wanted him to say hello.
Hello everyone, nice to be here again. Looking forward to seeing what questions you have for Phoebe, and hopefully we can help you tonight with any queries that you have. So feel free to send us any more questions via the chat box as they come up tonight.
Okay, perfect. So the first question, we're going to go through, I just have, as you can see, the question at the top, and then a little description, and this is going to be similar to last week, a very hands-on, so I'm going to actually share my screen with you in a few cases to show you exactly how to do this. So, what does tagging a photo mean, which is a great question. So when you tag someone, that just identifies someone else in a post, a photo, or a status update that you share. So it also it notifies that person that you've mentioned them or referred to them in a post or photo, and provides a link back to their profile. Again, I will share my screen so you can have this. Now, there is just a much more clever way to use tagging, and I'm going to show this to you. So I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is my page in case you haven't seen it. Let me just, okay. So what I was going to show you is, for example, I just posted this the other day. I thought that this was a funny post. And so I wrote something on here, and I just said, love it. Okay, so I shared somebody's photo. Again, this will show you more Facebook stuff in the Facebook course itself. But if you can see, so if I want to add a status update, for example, and I want to say, on the Mary Kay Bootcamp webinar, so nice to see, let's say, everyone. Okay, so there is no share button to add people to this feature. So what I do, I'm going to post this. Then once it's posted, I go back into my my personal page, go into my business page, come into here, and then click this little down arrow here, go to edit. I hope everybody is following along. And then I can add people. So I can add, I don't know who I have on here, but I'll just say I will add, I don't know who I have as my friend on here. If I have Hyacinth, No, I don't. Okay, but I can add, as you can see, I can just add my friends. So I'll say, this is Joel here. I can add him. Now he's tagged. So if you see this, this will now create a link on here. So when I go back to my page, it will show up blue. So now if you hover over, this is Joel's page, I can click and view his page. The reason that this is so good for businesses is if you said, I'm doing a food, fun, and facials, or something like this, or whatever event it is, and you know that you have 10 to 15 people, we'll say, for example, that really you want to see a photo, you want to see, for example, this, it's funny, but you want somebody specific to see this, then you can tag them in it, and they will get a link, a notification saying, oh, Phoebe tagged you in this post, you should go look at it, which I would say 10 times out of 10, they're going to see what somebody is posting about them. So that is just a really good way that you can use the tagging function for your business. Okay. Oh, sorry, hold on. I just wanted to show you one more example because I know I got this, another question about this as well. So I'm going to go into our group page. So this is our Mary Kay Bootcamp group. So the other way that you tag people is just using the @ sign. So when I said this, any last questions I can answer, if somebody is in the group, I just know Jenny because I just saw her type something. So so now she will get a little notification saying that I have tagged her in a post. You can look at her website just by hovering over. I'm not even clicking on it, but that way you can involve more people in whatever you're posting. So that is, as I said, a really good way to use the tagging feature. Yudia is saying, is the business page for free? Yes, I know that, or I can tell you, there are some restrictions for Mary Kay consultants on business pages. So you need to go have a look in the internet guidelines. There's something called a fan page, and it has very specific guidelines for what you are able to post and what you are not. I will address a few of those a little bit later, but that is the way that you would want to do it. So, for example, you have to use your name, but in the URL, you're not allowed to say anything about Mary Kay. And in the description, you have a very specific text that you can use. So while it is free, you need to make sure that you're complying with the Mary Kay guidelines. Sorry, was that, okay. So I just saw somebody say that they haven't found the UK guidelines. I know it's in your In Touch. Because I'm not a consultant, I don't have access to the Mary Kay In Touch, but I do know other people who do, so I can get those to you. If you, I'm not sure what level you are, but as a sales director, or if you're not a sales director, I would just recommend contacting your sales director because they will have that information. So if you can't find it, you can also Google maybe Internet Guidelines, Mary Kay In Touch. So hopefully that helps you. Okay. The next one, I am overwhelmed and don't know where to start with online marketing. What advice do you have? Okay. So I know that we did cover a lot of stuff in the last 4 weeks, and I really appreciate you all hanging on for that, but I do also understand that it can be really overwhelming and a bit intimidating. So here is my advice. Be patient with yourself. So this is really important because I see so many people get really frustrated when they don't make sales within an hour of posting a photo, and then they give up. So remember that it takes time, just like anything, but know that the time you put in will definitely come back. So make sure that you are patient with yourself and patient with just your progress. Don't expect it to revolutionize your business overnight. The second one, let yourself be guided by the experts. So there are people like me and others that devote all their time and energy to learning how all of this stuff works. So we can break it down for you into bite-sized pieces. So don't try to go at it alone. Don't try to figure it all out. We are here for a reason, and there are other people, obviously not just me, but we are here for a reason. So just know that you don't have to do this by yourself. There are other people that can help you find out how it's going to apply best to your business. And the best people out there will tell you exactly how to replicate what they're doing. If they don't tell you, then they probably don't know what they're doing anyway. Okay, the third one, like any new skill, you need to invest the time and money if needed. So I'm not saying to go out and buy every course in the market, but like I said just a second ago, you should see this as an investment in your business. And I don't know, but maybe you could write it off on your taxes as business education. I'm not sure. I have no idea, actually. But don't hold me to it. I just thought maybe it might be worth a shot. But just remember that it does take time, and there are courses available if you do want to fast track a little bit. So that is definitely a way to do it. Okay. Study the sites and processes of people that you like. So I don't mean people you like as in your friends. I mean people that are either in the same industry as you that you like hearing from, or they don't have to be in the same industry, but just people that you are motivated or inspired by. So also make sure that they are successful. But please notice I did not say copy. So take what you want from these sites and then make it your own. And I'll talk about this in just a few minutes, but make sure you just study them and see what they're doing and why they're getting your attention. And I think that will be really valuable for you, hopefully, and for your business. The next one is start small, focus, and master. I think I've said this every single week, but make sure that you start small. So start with either a social media channel or start with a specific task like building your list, as we talked about, I think in week 1 or week 2, and focus on it, really devote a lot of time to it and master it before you move on to the next channel or to a different segment. So if you have another perfect customer, if one of your perfect customer is, for example, a teenager, you want to help them with their skin. You might also want to work with people your own age that have similar problems to you, or just have similar fears of objectives, whatever, life goals. But make sure that you focus on just one before you move on to the next one. So that is really important. The final one is test, track, and iterate. So I think I touched a little bit on this in maybe week 2 or week 3, but one of the biggest mistakes that people make is not tracking. And I know I definitely did at first, and it was an expensive mistake. So just remember, if you're on a diet, when you don't have a before picture, your after picture doesn't seem as great. So as you know, or may not know, I don't know, but I really like to celebrate all successes, no matter how big or small. So if I have a starting point that I've written down somewhere, then it just makes my victories seem even sweeter. So what I would recommend is just maybe, for example, jotting down how many emails you have on your list today. Then 2 weeks after you've been implementing either some sort of warm chattering strategy or a list building strategy, then go back and compare that list with how many you have today. And I guarantee it will, even if it hasn't improved a ton, you'll learn a lot. So when you're tracking, then you know what your where your progress is coming from, and then you iterate. So making small tweaks to make sure that you are covering all your bases, or you're doing more of what people want. So do more of what works and less of what doesn't. So this is a simple example, but for things like Facebook likes or Instagram photos, it can be really useful when the time comes to tweaking your strategy down the road. So make sure that you definitely track and then iterate. Okay. The next question, is everyone okay on that one? Sorry. Does anyone have any questions on that? I'll kind of hold for a second on each of these. So if there are any if there's any clarification needed. Let's see. So if you can type in, if you are clear on this, then we'll move on to the next one. Okay, perfect. Everyone's okay, it seems. So the next one is, how do I know what to say in my emails to my customers to keep them interested? Okay, so the first piece of advice I would say is keep it you, which really is the most important thing. So you're unique and you have a unique tone and style, which should always be reflected in your branding, in what you're saying to these people through emails or even just through social media, which is, again, I don't want to just limit it to emails, but again, some people will like your style and some people won't, which is great because you don't want to work with the no's or the in-betweeners. You want to work with the people who are excited to work with you. The second one, make sure you're writing an email to one person rather than 20 or 30 or 50. So keep it individualized and with a clear purpose. So this is really 2 points, actually. So the first is remember to write your group emails as if you're just writing to one person. No one really wants to know that they're on a list with 100 or 1,000 other people. So we like to think that we're special and appreciate those who treat us that way. So if I had it my way, I would write to everyone individually. And I really, as a lot of you know, try to when I can. But when I'm batching, which we talked about last week, sometimes it just needs to get done, and writing to just one person will really help you keep the personal tone so that your customers feel special. So hopefully that makes sense to you. So just make sure you're writing to one person. And secondly, about writing for a purpose. So there are very few times when you want to write to a customer just to check in. I can address that at a later time, but there are very few times that you actually want to do that. So whether you state it in the email or not, you need really to have a clear purpose in your head for why you're sending the email. Many times I start the email, as I said last week, with a very quick blurb about me and my life, which hopefully is relatable to my customers. And then I'll say, I'm writing to, and for you it could be check up on your mascara stash or see if you're free on Friday for food, fun, and facials. Again, I don't know if you do that, but that way she knows that you're writing specifically to her and why you're writing to her. So I can kind of show you a good email if you're interested in what, one email that I tend to read. I don't know if everybody's okay on that, on writing for a purpose. Okay. So some people want to see an example. Okay, I will show you a good example. Okay. For example, I think these Tone It Up girls, I can't remember what their names are, Karina and Katrina, I think they just really do a good job. So they have, I'm sure, a list of tons of people. But what they do is they say your name, then they talk about, here they're extremely casual. They keep it really simple. And then today we're sharing a delicious new recipe perfect for the occasion. So this beginning paragraph is really informal. It sounds as though she's writing just to me. And then she says, this is why I'm writing to you, because she wanted to share this recipe. So it comes out again here, your new recipe makes a celebratory frothy cocktail or a tasty berry smoothie, your choice. Cheers to the weekend. So I just think that these girls really do a great job. I can show you another one. So are you ready to celebrate the weekend? And then they talk about find your perfect pina colada recipe here. So again, not as makeup focused or beauty focused, but something hopefully that will give you a better idea of how to structure your emails. Just make sure that it's not all text, because not many people will read those. So get some pictures, a nice variety of pictures in there, and ones that just look almost as though, they could be professional. It really depends on your style. But if you want them to be professional, you can do that. If you would rather, for example, you have a picture of yourself, there is definitely a time and a place to do that. And then here they're engaging at the end. So what are you up to this weekend? Let us know on Instagram and Twitter with the hashtag and then TIU, which is Tone It Up July. So they do a nice little signature here, which I think is a great idea. But I hope that helps you see how to structure your email. Nobody wants to read really, really, really long emails unless there are a few reasons why you would. But in this situation, for all of you, you would definitely not need to do that. So, I just got a comment saying, well, okay, I think the emails you send us have an individual look. I always thought you wrote just me, which half the time I am, so don't be offended, but I'm glad to know that it works. Okay, so the next one, was, can you explain why stamp again? So yes, I can.
By the way, we're getting a couple of questions in. I am keeping track of them, and I'll get Phoebe to cover them at the end. But just to avoid going off on too many tangents, we'll sort of group them together at the end.
Perfect. Okay. So why stamp? Again, we covered this last week. We just need a little clarification, which I think is actually really good. So it's a tool that allows you to create a good-looking email or great-looking email signatures in your emails, which link to your social media profiles. Okay, so I am going to now show you how to create one. So what I want to go to is YStamp. Oh, sorry, I have it up actually here. Okay, so for example, when you log into YStamp, this is what it will look like. I don't know anybody named Jamie Kaiser, but this is how you change it up. So if I'm going to do it, I will put my name in here. For your company, this is what Mary Kay tells you to put. So you're Mary Kay Independent Beauty Consultant, and you can see exactly what it looks like on the right-hand side. Title, delete that. That is what you want it to look like. So your phone number, I'll just keep all of this the same. Website, for example, marykay.com / I'll just say Phoebe M. I don't know. That's not my website. But email like this. And then I'm going to change my image. Let's see if it has it saved in here. No, it doesn't. Okay. So I have, let me just find this picture here. I think I have a picture of me somewhere. Oh, here we go. Okay, and then it will change on the screen, like so. Don't use that picture, but get obviously a good picture. That was for something else. So you can change up your theme here. So for example, this just turns this little line here blue, and the P and the W and the E a different color, so maybe use pink for Mary Kay. And then here you can change your social media profiles. So for example, I would type in this, make up your marketing, and you can reorder them just by using these little arrows here. So then that just changes the look just under the website. And this is what I really like. So right now it has something on latest tweet. So this pulls it directly from your Twitter. So when you link it here, this is linked to mine right now because I'm in my account, as you can see from my picture here. But when you input your Twitter profile, it will pull a tweet here. So it will say my latest tweet. So you can also add a Facebook badge. You can add a disclaimer if you want. A random quote, I probably wouldn't recommend that just because you never know what you're going to get. So I just like to keep it as customized as possible. And then I'm going to save my changes. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like. So when I go to put an email in, I have up here this little snail, and I just click. So let's just say this is my email. Hello, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then I just go up here and insert my personal one. So this is the one that I currently have. So then when I send it, you can click on all of these social media links. So this just tells people that you're active, and it directs them to your website. So again, I just think this is a really great way to make sure that you're top of mind when you're sending emails. The one thing I will say is just here in the bottom right hand corner it says get this email app. So if you want the free version, it's going to have to stay on there. If you would like to pay for the version, which I clearly have not done, then it's just going to be on there. So I really have no problem with that. But if you do, again, you can pay, and I don't think it's that expensive. So I hope, I hope that was helpful. And if you have any more questions about that, now would be the time to ask, actually. And I can go back into my desktop if there are any questions. Is everybody okay with that? Okay, I can't even use the stamps. Okay. Okay, so what you're going to have to do is you need to sign up for an account, Mariva. So when you sign up for an account, then you'll be able to use the stamps and just fill it in exactly as I was showing you here with your profiles. So if you don't have a certain profile, I don't have a LinkedIn, for example, I just delete it here. Okay, so if you want to, so I'm getting a question here about how to create one. So what you would, I'll just do this for example. So this is what you should come up with when you log into the page. Okay, and so what you'll do is you'll just, let's see, there you go. Create an account or sign up with Facebook. And then so you enter your email, choose a password, create an account, and then go from there. If you need more help, again, I can help you with that later on. But so in Outlook, yes, so it should be across the board. You should be able to see them in all platforms, really, because it's it's very versatile. So okay, again, if you're having trouble with it, I can, I'll either make you a short video about it, maybe, or I will send you some detailed notes because I see we're having somebody who's having a little bit of problems, but that's okay. Okay, the next one, can you show us an example of how to use Canva? So what is Canva? Last week I talked about it. It's just a free design tool for online businesses. So I am always on this. I love it. I use it all the time, and I really just can't say enough good things about it. So I'll show you a quick example of how you would use this for your business, for example. Okay, let's see. So I log in to my profile. For example, we're going to do, I'll say, a Facebook cover photo. So you just choose, sorry, at the top, I'll just show you this. You have presentation posters, blog graphics, Kindle cover, Google Photo or Google Plus photos, Twitter headers. They're just so, the options are really endless. You can also use custom dimensions. So these are just a bunch of things that I've done. Pretty much anything that you'll see from me designed is in Canva. Okay, so we're going to just show you, or I'm going to show you very quickly. We'll try this one. So you just click here. These are all the themes. So I'll go through them very slowly so you can see them. But again, there are tons and tons and tons. Okay. So, sorry, I'm just reading. So it's called Canva, Canva.com. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to customize this by using an upload. So I have already uploaded a really nice photo in here. Let's see where it is. Oh, here. So I just click, hold, and drag it into here. Then you can use these little, so if I double click on here, I can adjust the photo like this. The only reason why it's out of focus is because that is the theme that I've used. If you wanted to, however, use something where it's in focus, sorry, you can just do this same thing. And I'll show you. There you go. So I can use this little filter button here, go through all of these. So epic, festive, if you want a black and white or gray. So you can use any of these. So we'll just use this one, for example. Again, double click. You can hold to where you want it to go. Click this little check button. And then here, just double click in here. You can change all the fonts. Again, I have a whole training on Canva, so I won't go too much into it, but here are a bunch of different fonts. So we'll say we want this one, and then we'll say Colors of the Summer, for example. Again, you can use whatever you want. And then when this little arrow comes, you can go up here. We'll change the colors. There you go. So there, then once you move this little box up here, like so. Then once you want to save it, it's very easy. You just go here to link publish, and then whichever one, if you want to do an image or a PDF, you can do that, and you're done. And then you just use it on your so you can upload the photo on your change group photo. As you can see, I created this one recently, which I'm happy with, and then I have this one also. This is just my my profile picture. But those are hopefully that gives you a little bit more information on how to do how to make any kind of design, really. So Mary's asking, can you use something from your own file? Yes. So these are just photos I've actually uploaded, so you can see that's one that, there's me, there's Instagram. So yes, you just go here to upload your own images, and then it comes down with a whole range of choices for you. So brilliant, more to play with. I think I'm opening a lot of a big can of worms here with that. But again, it is very fun, and it's free, and it's easy. So if you have more questions, again, I can send you a link to the Canva training, or you can enroll in it, and that's fine. And we'll just go a little bit more into it. Okay, the next one, I see a lot of very excited people, so that's great news. Okay, the next one is, can you show us an example of who is doing a good job with their Facebook page? Okay, so there are two people that I just wanted to point out here. So Gloria Mayfield Banks, I don't know if you've heard of her, but she is absolutely incredible. And then Linda, I think it's Topin. But we are going to go back to my desktop, and I'll show you these people very quickly. So Gloria Mayfield Banks, 54,000 people that she has on her page, which is outrageous, but she is so great. So I would follow her if you could. Just go and click the like button on her page and just have a look at what she's sharing. So for example, 3 days left to register. Join me for a workshop on August 6th. So this is something that you can just have a look at, as I was saying, study what other people are doing. So you could do something like this. So 3 days left to register. Register here, give a link, $20 in advance or free facial, whatever it is, guests are free. The reason that I really like her page so much is that it's very diverse. So she's not selling all this stuff all the time. So this is just one instance, or one occasion where she's selling tickets to her event. Then she says, I'm back in Baltimore. Yeah, wish you all success. So just a nice thing. Look at this, 1,126 people like this. That 26 more comments. That's amazing. Then she shows behind the scenes. So what she's doing, and this is what I touched on last week, people love to see you behind the scenes. So it doesn't always have to be so corporate, so professional. Obviously, you want it to still reflect your brand and represent who you are, but at the same time, people love photos of what you're doing. She has a beautiful dress on, she's getting ready, she's on stage, and then she has here 145 shares and 4,463 people like this. So again, 169 comments, just awesome. So if you have not followed her, I would do that. The other person that I just mentioned was Linda. That is a funny picture. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me just see her name. Let me just scroll down. Okay, here she is. I think she does a really great job. So what she has in her cover photo, again, we go over this a lot in the Facebook training, what you need in your cover photo, but it just makes her seem really real, just a real person. 9,000 people like her. Channeling some Eva Longoria on her mystery date. Okay, so she has some personal photos. Then she also has, which I really like, was this. So when traveling, use your hotel envelope to hold receipts. So just little tips for her unit. So again, if you have a team, I would strongly recommend getting some sort of group together where you can give them tips. And it's not always so professional. Obviously, it can be something, oh, I learned a great tip today on my makeup, or, look at me, I did this. I'm so wonderful. But again, keep that to a minimum. So I hope that helps. She's another good one. I'll show you her name just very quickly. So Linda Topin. She's also an NSD and somebody that you should definitely follow because she's great. Okay. Next one. Okay, so I signed up for the Facebook training. Would it be okay if my new team members join too? So yes, of course. Everyone loves free things, so I always know that a lot of people will sign up for these because it's a lot of good training and or it's a lot of good information, and obviously for free. The only thing is that it fills up very quickly. So the more the merrier until it's closed, obviously. That's not, if I could open the doors to everybody, I would, but this service or program that I use only allows me to keep it to a certain number. So if you haven't signed up, be sure to do it. And then what I encouraged this person, or I think I had 2 or 3 people ask me this actually, but it's a great class to start with your unit or fellow consultants because we start with the very, very basics and build up. So if you haven't seen, the dates are August 19th to the 2nd of September, and you can also use the link that I have sent out. If there are any questions, I can take those. If not, we'll just keep going. I can actually answer any of those at the end also. So the next one, so the funnel. Can you explain the funnel again? I'm very happy to do this because it's really important that you understand. So as you see at the top, you have your social media where you're able to connect with a wide range of people. But it's up to you to make sure that you target your messaging towards your perfect customer, as we talked about in week 1. But the reason that you want to target those perfect customers is really because you have the potential to reach so many people. So again, if you appeal to everybody, you really appeal to nobody. So then through your specific messaging and your strategies, you're then able to convert those leads into subscribers. So then you're in front of them all the time with email, with Facebook, with social media, Instagram, whatever it is, text messaging, however you choose to do it, you convert those people to subscribers. So when they become subscribers, that just means that now they're on your list that I'm sure you all have been building since week 1, so I don't need to tell you about that. But from those subscribers then comes the actual customers. So there's a small percentage of people who want to buy your Mary Kay products from you, and that's where the money and obviously the fun is. Hopefully the whole process is fun, but that is where definitely the sales come from. So the bigger the funnel at the top, the more potential customers you have to sell to. And the most important thing is that you make sure you open the funnel as wide as possible at the top. But again, warning, with your specific messaging and your perfect customer in mind, then funnel them down through emails and facials. Again, it doesn't just have to be emails and online marketing. It can also be through facials. And then they then become paying customers. So I hope that makes sense. We are on a roll. I think hopefully it looks like everybody's doing okay. If you're not, you can tell me to slow down. That's fine. The next one. So can you go over a few cans and cannots in Mary Kay? So yes, I can. And sorry, I'm just seeing. Okay, I think people are doing all right. So there are tons of things. Again, I said just to go and look at your internet guidelines in the Mary Kay In Touch, because it will give you all the cans and cannots, but just a few that I picked out that were important to note. So you can't use Mary Kay, MK, the little floral, the pink flower product names or images unless it's company approved. So there are a bunch of company approved images and logos and whatnot that you can use, but just be aware that you need to really go back and check before you do it, because you don't want to make anybody in the Mary Kay headquarters angry. The second one, so contests on social media are fine as long as there is a start and end date. So this is also important. So as long as you say this is a 7-day contest, or this is, so also contests and promotions. So as long as it's, there's a start and end date, you can do it and they're fair game. And the third one is, if you create your own website, it cannot incorporate company trademarks or incorporate copyrighted or copyright protected material. You may, however, link from your own website to your My Mary Kay website with company approved linking text. Okay, so what this means. This leads very well into the next question, which was, how can I link my social media or signatures to my Mary Kay website? So there's a list of probably, I don't know, 20 different text guidelines for you to use, and they're the only ones that you're allowed to use. So I picked out 5 that I found that I thought might be the most effective ones. So I'll kind of hold this up here for a little bit so you can write them down. Again, this is all in your Mary Kay In Touch, but the first one is shop online with me, your Mary Kay independent beauty consultant, and then you put your individual website link. So do not put just www.marykay.com or .co.uk or anything, because that will just direct them to the main page. So the second one is interested in a free makeover? Visit me, your Mary Kay independent beauty consultant. So again, at least it piques their interest with interested in a free makeover, and someone reading your email or reading your, whatever it is, a Facebook post, your tweet, whatever, is going to say, oh yeah, actually I am interested in a free makeover. So then they see your link right there, and everything works out perfectly. The third one is shop 24 hours a day. Visit me, your Mary Kay independent beauty consultant. So again, you can see that they are very strict on saying your Mary Kay independent beauty consultant. Obviously, that is something that must be in your signature. So again, when I used the Y stamp, I used your Mary Kay independent beauty consultant. You can also take that out if you're not their Mary Kay beauty consultant, because that's fine too. But number 4 is get the latest makeup and skincare trends. So that's another good one. And then free gift with purchase. Again, at least you're piquing their interest. So it's not as bland. Unfortunately, you can't tweak this as much because of just the guidelines, but they still are. There are some other ones again, but just see what works with you and what fits best with kind of who you are and what your messaging is. So is everyone okay on that? Can I go to the next one? We'll just wait a second for somebody. Okay, good. So again, you can find all this online. Okay, so can you please explain Evernote? So I had a few questions actually about Evernote. So what it is basically is a platform designed for note-taking and archiving. So it syncs across multiple devices, computers, phones, tablets, etc. It will make your life a lot easier and organized or categorized. And then somebody said, why is it better than notes or reminders? So notes and reminders are definitely good options. I used to use them all the time on my phone before I found Evernote. The nice thing about Evernote is that it's all in one place, and it's not just notes, but it's photos and recordings, clippings, which I'll show you in just a second. And the best thing that I think really sets it apart is just that it constantly updates when you make changes. So for example, if you made a change walking to work, at a facial or whatever, you make a change on your phone, and then 5 seconds later you look at it on your computer, it's going to be the same. It's going to have updated and synced to your, whatever the other device that you're using. So that is really important. And that way you just know that you're always looking at the most updated version, so you don't have to save it and then send it to yourself, which I used to always do. So anytime I had a note, I would just send it to myself. But I'll show you how on my desktop, how I use it, and hopefully that will show you how useful it is. But before I do show you an example, I wanted to just stress that it doesn't really matter what type of app or website you use to organize your notes or follow-ups or product orders. Just be sure you're using something. So don't rely on remembering, because first of all, I don't think it ever works. And that could really mean the difference between being a star consultant because you finally remembered to purchase, you place your order just before the end of the quarter, whatever it is, or even just a few extra sales because you forgot to check in with somebody. How often have we had that happen where all of a sudden I'm like, oh, whatever happened to that customer that I had once? Oh, I should really follow up. But if it's on a reminder, then you'll remember it. So once it's down on paper or in your notes, you can just forget about it and just clear your head to focus on other things. So I always set reminders for the littlest things, like remembering, as I was saying, to follow up with clients. That's a really good one. So here I'm going to show you how you can use it on your desktop. This is really great. Okay, so I'm going to just use Linda's. So for example, if you want to remember, I was saying this was a really good one. Right, okay. So can you all see that I pulled that up? Okay, well sorry, my computer's a little bit delayed. So if you want to remember to do something like this, so it's a really good tip you want to remember. So if you look at where my mouse is, over this little elephant, this is my Evernote. So what I want to do is click that, and then I can do article. Hold on. Sorry, let's see, okay. So click the elephant, and then I can go to screenshot, which I love. So what I want to do is, I'll say that this is a really great cover photo, for example. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and then it will come up in my Evernote. I use this little A tool here to just type on it what I want to remember. So for example, Phoebe said this was a great cover photo. Okay, so just to remember this, then you can go and organize it in whatever you have. So for example, I have one for good web design. Anytime I see something that I think is really good and I want to remember, then it just clips and syncs. Okay, I have a question here. How did you take a snapshot? So when I was here, I just went to this little elephant, the Evernote elephant here. Clicked this little button. Sorry, I just want to make sure that you guys can see this. Sorry here. This is what will pop up. So you can choose article, simplified article, full page, bookmark, and I just chose screenshot. And then it brings me to this page. And do you see this? These two little lines. So where this X is, right, where they intersect, you just use that to click and hold. So click and hold, and it will select it. So see how it's a little bit darker, and where I'm selecting is a little bit lighter. That shows you exactly what you're screenshotting. Okay. Then you let go, and then if you don't want to type anything on it, you don't have to. You can draw on it, so you can use this little tool if you want to highlight something that she's wearing or whatever it is. Add it to whatever thing. If I have social media, trip details, weekend reading, this is such a good tool for weekend reading. And then I'll show you, very quickly. So this was a story that I just saw, and I just want to make sure that I know that maybe it's a little bit behind the delay. Okay. So for example, I go here's a story about somebody who lost a lot of weight, and I want to read about it, but I just don't have time right now. So I go here, click the little elephant. Okay. And then I can choose article, simplified article, which then sends it to a whole different page, or I can save the entire page, I can bookmark it, or I can screenshot. So the reason this is so good is, this is what I do. So simplified article, and I just put this in weekend reading, so I remember that I'm going to, every weekend, I'll just go through all my weekend reading. But that way, this is another great way to batch things, and then you save it. So I see a lot of people that really like this. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful. Okay. Now we're going to go back to the next one. Sorry, I'm going to try to finish this up. I know we just had a lot of questions. So the next one is, how long will the replays be up? Yes, I will be taking them down. So I'll take them down next Wednesday. So not tomorrow, but next Wednesday. So I know that there was some trouble. I had some trouble with the replays because I accidentally deleted one of them, but thankfully I had a backup. So I didn't get them up as quickly as normally I do. So just make sure you put in your Evernote or a reminder just to, make a reminder to remind yourself to watch them this week if you can. And then I'm getting a question, can I save the replays? So yes, you can save them. They should be downloadable. If you have any trouble, just send me an email and I will make sure to get them to you. But it is a great idea to download them for if you want to revert to them later. Okay, I'm worried the Facebook training will be too advanced for me. Do you have a beginner class? So this is actually the beginner class. They're referring, if you don't know, again, this is the Facebook class that's starting in August. So the first week assumes that you have never seen Facebook, that you have never used the business page feature, nothing like that. So I then walk you on week 1. I walk you step by step through how to set up a business page. And then the following weeks will just show you how to use the page then more effectively. So how to make sales, how to approach people, what to say, how to get your message across. And hopefully this will really be a good training for all of you. So if you're worried that maybe you're a little bit you're more advanced, this is going to be too easy, you have 2 options. So you can tune in for a general refresher to just even confirm what you already know. It's always nice to do that. But you can choose to do that and tune in to week 1, or you can skip ahead and wait till week 2 and then tune in for the, again, it's not going to be advanced, but it is going to be effective. So hopefully you will all join us for that. And again, there's the link if you need it. And somebody said, okay, so if you have received an email saying that you're not on the list, make sure you go to this specific website. So this is a specific page that you need to register on. So if you haven't done it, make sure you do it. And then it should be okay. I think maybe there was a little confusion because I think this specific person was talking about a different thing. So I will get back to you on that. No problem. The next one is, if my unit wants more training on specific topics, are you available? So yes, I'm very happy to do that. I have courses now and then can tailor make courses to suit your needs and levels. So these are the things that I normally train on. So attracting new leads, turning leads into customers, the follow-up process, social media, website creation and design, branding, creating effective videos, effective communication for your team, and copywriting. And that isn't just me. So Joel is very much a part of that as well. He's a journalist, so the copywriting one is really, really good. I learn something new every time. And if you're interested in that, again, just shoot me an email, let me know. As you've seen, I'm very informal, so you can just send me an email. I'll let you know what's going on and keep you updated. Okay, somebody also asked about the resources, so I'm just going to put this one up very briefly so you can write this down in case you needed to have a second look. So Fiverr.com very quickly is just tasks that you can have done for $5. And then to schedule your social media is Hootsuite. So if you need, this is what we were talking about with batching. So make sure that every Sunday you're batching all of your social media or whatever day of the week you choose to do it. Swiftly.com is design tasks that will be completed in an hour for $19. very good resource. Odesk is good for outsourcing a number of different tasks, but just making your life easier. I just spoke about Canva, my favorite of all of them. And then PicMonkey, if you're familiar with Photoshop or you've heard of it, this is just a free editing software. So again, I can go more into that, but I know I'm running a little bit late. So I'll just quickly, and then go on to the next one. So you do have homework this week. I will be sending, or you will receive a survey tomorrow that in your email, and I would just really, really appreciate if you would take a few minutes and just let me know what you think, what was helpful, what was not, because obviously all of your feedback just helps me to improve my programs. This was kind of a more specific but general, specific to Mary Kay, but general for online marketing and social media. So if you could do that, that would be great. Sorry, I'm getting a question. The list, can you say the list again? I'm not sure which list that was. But, oh, sorry, this one. Oh, can I show it? Yep. So Fiverr, Hootsuite, okay. Swiftly, Odesk, Canva, and PicMonkey. Again, you can download the slides on the... I'll give you the link in the email, but you can, you'll have access to all of this. And then, sorry, just a few ways to stay in touch with me and Joel, of course. You can always go on our website. These are our social media ones that I really use. I use a bunch of other ones, but these are the ones that I'm always on. And these are our emails at the bottom. I'm going to just address a few questions that we had. So which is best to use, Google+, WordPress, or MailChimp? I would actually ask for a little bit more information on that. What are you hoping to get out of them? Because I don't really know what your goal is, because they are all very different. So I think that was Jenny's question. If you can... Sorry, so if you can just, Jenny, if you're still around, just let me know. I know she's still there. But when you did the email, so when you're sending an email to somebody,
So I think, Jenny, you asked two questions, didn't you? The first one was which is best to use, the Google Plus blog, WordPress, or MailChimp, I think, didn't you? Okay, so it really depends on your aims. If you're talking about blogging and specifically talking about your Mary Kay business and promoting it that way, Google Plus and WordPress work very differently. The main difference between them is that you're with Google Plus, you're not really in control of the platform. So with a WordPress blog, you own the domain. You're in charge of everything that you put up on there, and you essentially can dictate everything you do with that blog. On Google, you're subject really to what Google actually want to do with the platform a little bit more. So I think it really just comes down to freedom. I think when people want to push their business to the next level, they normally choose a WordPress blog because it gives them a lot more flexibility with what they put out onto the internet. But perhaps to start with, a lot of people, when they get into blogging, maybe use a platform that's hosted by Google or Tumblr or companies like this, because it's a little bit easier to get set up on.
And the other thing that I'll mention, because you mentioned MailChimp, so I'm assuming that you're talking, or that part of your question is how you're emailing people. So MailChimp is really how you reach out to people, and you can send mass emails. So if you have a list of 1,000 people, you can send them through MailChimp. So I have used MailChimp in the past. I use something called Aweber. And if you're interested in how to do that, I can help you with that as well. And then how do you mail merge via email? Oh, okay. So that's kind of what I was just talking about. Yep, that was perfect. So yeah, so I don't use MailChimp, as I was saying. The thing with them is if once you have, it's free until the first 2,000 subscribers, which again is, does sound like a lot, but I don't know, for me, I use Aweber and it's always worked really well for me. So I can send you, Jenny, if you're interested. If anybody else is interested, my email is listed up there. So I think you've all emailed me already. So I'm happy to share that information with you. And then, so we covered that last one. If there are any other questions, I'll just, again, thank you. If there aren't, okay, so I'll make a note, to Jenny to share the Aweber information so you can be in touch with your customers individually. So obviously it looks individual. And I feel bad now that Hyacinth said that before about how it was an individual, because it really is. I love writing to you all individually. If there are any questions, now is the time, so speak now or forever hold your peace. If I wanted to do a survey, how many customers would you send it out to? That's a great question. So I guess it depends on what the aim is, again. So if you wanted to, it really just depends on what kind of survey. So if you wanted to see who's free on Tuesdays, or what time people are available to talk, or is your survey more, do you like this product kind of thing. So I think it really depends on what kind of survey, but and how, if it's possible to segment the survey. So customer focus. If you can just specify a little bit more, so what you would want to, you say a customer focus. If you can specify a little bit more, and then someone else said, is the Google Drive the best to do your survey? So I'll show you exactly how mine is set up. I do one so in Google, and then I go here to this little box up here, and then I go to more, and even more. So once you go here, at the bottom, it will say forms. So if you see here, build free forms. Let me just make sure that this is, okay. So click on here, and then this is what you'll come to. So you can choose Mary Kay survey, and then you can go through. To be honest, I wouldn't get too fancy because you don't want to take away from what the message is, but obviously if it's Christmas and you want to use a string of lights, that is okay too. But I normally, you'll see the one tomorrow is default. And then you can go through and you can add, let's see, what is your favorite product? I mean, that's not a great question, but you get the idea. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. She knows how to use it. So for anyone else, if you don't know how to use it, the other thing that I recommend is SurveyMonkey. That's another really good one that I use as well. But I think the Google Forms one is just really easy. Oh, sorry. This is all in German now. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, just because we're in Germany. But
Angela, I think you said that you wanted to get some feedback on you and your performance. I think in that case, it's actually probably good to try to send it to as many customers as you can. If you have a wider catchment of people, you can get some more detailed feedback. I know generally when Phoebe and I have done any customer surveys or sending out to potential clients when we're starting new websites or businesses, that really we try and contact as many people as we can. So starting with friends and working out to friends of friends who might fit a perfect customer. And really, the more information and feedback you can get, the better you can adjust your own performance and try to create a product or create a service that they would be interested in purchasing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think that's really good. So I hope that helps. Again, Angela, I'm happy to, if you want to shoot me an email, I'm happy to go over that again with you. If you want me to have a look at it, I'm happy to do that. And I know we're about 10 minutes over, so I can let you all go. I know it's so sad that this is our last one, but hopefully you'll all be joining us in the Facebook training. So if you have any other questions, you can send those through, and I'll do my best to answer them. If not, you can always send me questions through my email, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. We just have a lot going on, so just be patient. And if I don't get back to you in, say 3-4 days, then just send me a reminder so I'm sure that I answer it to the best of my ability. And that's pretty much all. That's all we have. So if you guys don't have any other questions, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this. And I'll give a big thank you to Joel. He's been really helpful. You guys don't see all the hard work he does behind the scenes, but he's been really great. And I hope everyone had a great time. So can we still contact you on the group email page? So on the group Facebook page, yes, absolutely. So you'll always be in that group. And then when you join the Facebook training, then you'll go into a bigger group with, because this is Mary Kay specific, but the actual Facebook group will have, the majority of it will be Mary Kay consultants, because I do know quite a few people who have asked for this training. So it will be very Mary Kay, well, there will be a lot of Mary Kay people in it, but it won't necessarily be specific to Mary Kay. So I hope that's helpful.
So I'd just like to say thank you to everyone. It's been really great to be on the call, and also thank you to Phoebe. She's put in a lot of work, and she really does live and breathe the marketing and social media side of her businesses. So she's the best person really that you can talk to. If you have any questions, just send her an email, and she really does enjoy getting back to you and really figuring out any individual problems you may have. So thank you for all your participation. It's been great.
Perfect. Oh, thank you. Everyone is so nice. Learned a lot, much more to come. Yes, definitely. I really appreciate you all being on here. So I'm going to get off now before I take too much of your time. But again, look forward to being in touch. Thank you all so much, and we'll talk to you soon. Perfect. All right. Bye, guys.